I want to welcome you once again to 4 Words to Transform. This is episode number 5 entitled Distress is Bad Stress. We're actually finishing up a 3-part series right now. In part 1, we said that sometimes you have to breathe in and breathe out. In part 2, we said that eustress is good stress. And now for part 3, distress is bad stress. If you remember when we talked about eustress, we said it is positive, good, or beneficial stress. Well, the opposite then will be true for distress, which is negative, bad, or detrimental stress. It's the kind of stress that doesn't propel us to excellence. Instead, it's the kind of stress that keeps us awake at night. Or it's the kind of stress that causes so we can't eat right. Or it's the kind of stress that really gets that blood flowing and you can feel the blood pressure raise in the back of your head, right? It is bad stress. It's bad for us physically, spiritually, emotionally, all the ways around, right? We said with eustress, it's positive that you have to be pushed out of your comfort zone in order to be used for your created purpose, just like a rubber band. Whereas distress, when you get stretched a little bit too far, you have a tendency to snap. Of course, anything that causes you to snap like that is a bad kind of stress. I want to read to you from Psalm 22. The author says, my God, why have you abandoned me? Why are you so far away when I groan for help? Every day I call to you, my God, but you do not answer. Every night I lift my voice, but I find no relief. The author here is obviously in some serious distress. But I want to read the beginning part again. My God, why have you abandoned me? Now that might sound familiar to you because in the New Testament we read it again as the words of Jesus Christ. This is from Matthew chapter 27. He says, Eli, Eli, lema sabachthani, which means, my God, why have you abandoned me? Distress comes when we feel like we've been abandoned. Abandoned by our family, abandoned by our friends, abandoned by our parents. Or parents, you feel like you've been abandoned by your children. Husbands, you feel abandoned by your wives. Wives, you feel abandoned by your husbands. We feel abandoned by God. We know that Jesus Christ is the hope of the world. So when we begin to lose hope, we feel like we've been abandoned by hope. And when that happens, we go from this eustress down to distress. We feel like nothing good will ever come of this. Nothing good can ever come of the situation that I'm facing. Or why does this have to be outside of my control, which brings about the anxiety we talked about. Distress can really tear us down. And yet, there is hope in Jesus Christ. And we know that God is always sure to come through. God will find us in our weakest moments. He'll find us when our backs are up against a wall. He'll find us in the hour that we feel we've been abandoned. Because Jesus Christ, the hope of the world, will never leave you nor forsake you. So when you feel distressed, when you feel abandoned by hope, when you feel abandoned by others, remember that Jesus is always there for us. I want to read from 1 Peter as we close out this time. 1 Peter 5, verses 6 through 8. So humble yourselves under the mighty power of God, and at the right time He will lift you up in honor. Give all your worries and cares to God, for He cares about you. God cares about you. Jesus Christ cares about you. So when you're feeling in that time of distress, when you're feeling like everything is going wrong, when you feel like the world is crushing in and surrounding you on all sides, remember, you have an advocate in Jesus.